about Pearl Harbor. I was in Bermuda aboard an aircraft carrier, and I'd rented me a bicycle for $1 for all day to tour that island. And I come across a soccer game. I'd never heard of soccer before, so I stopped to watch it. The guy came over and said, "I say, old lady, it's too bad about Pearl Harbor." I thought, who is Pearl Harbor? And I'd heard of Pearl Harbor, some of the old salts in the Navy, but I wasn't sure. But anyhow, he said that the Japanese bombed it. So I hopped on my bike and went back to the dock so I could go back aboard ship. Went aboard the ship, and we kicked around, and I was in Norfolk, Virginia, and I was sometime later they put I was in Fighter Squadron 9, supposed to go aboard the USS Essex, and it was still being built. So in the meantime, they put my squadron aboard the USS Ranger, an old CV-4, and we went down for the invasion of North Africa. And after that, after a week down there, dodging submarines, so forth, we ended back up in Norfolk, and then a few months later, the ship went out to the Pacific. We went through the canal out to the Pacific, and I spent the rest of the war practically all of it in the Pacific. In 1945, I came back to go to school, and on a different aircraft than I've been used to working on. So then after I got married, and I went back aboard ship with a pregnant wife going back to Tennessee. So then I went aboard the USS Bennington and spent the rest of the war there.
Were you with Mom when Harold was born?
No.
So
I was in El Centro, California, and by the time I got back, the doctor said she couldn't travel until after the baby was born. So Harold was born, and so we spent a few months there before I got discharged. I got after spending a few months, I decided that the best place for me, since I couldn't find a suitable job, all the people that had been drafted, they had already out of the service, and they were back to their jobs and other good jobs, and I couldn't see with no insurance with a young son, and so I went back in the Navy.
So you got discharged and turned around and then re-enlisted?
Yeah, I re-enlisted for 4 years, and I told Juanita that I intended to make a career out of it. Asked her what she thought. She said, "Whatever you do, wherever you go, we'll go with you as long as we can, and if you go overseas, we'll wait till you come home." So that ended up my thing. Went back in the Navy and stayed. Finally retired after 25 years.
You said you were in Bermuda when you first heard about Pearl Harbor. I thought you were in Australia.
Oh.
Bermuda.
Bermuda.
I've always told everybody it was Australia.
No, I never was in Australia, really.
What ships did you serve on? Can you remember all of them?
Yeah, I served aboard the USS Wasp, CD-7, that was sunk at Guadalcanal.
But you weren't on it when it was sunk.
I was not on it. If I'd have been on it, I wouldn't be here because my whole section was killed.
Oh, wow.
And I got off of it to go to the new USS Essex.
How long after you got off of the Wasp was it sunk?
It was sunk on September the 15th, 1942. I got off it on February 1942.
Okay, so a few months before that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Essex and the Wasp and the Ranger.
Ranger and the Bennington. After several months, several years of being in a transport squadron at Patuxent River, Maryland, in Chincoteague, Virginia, when my youngest son was born there. Chincoteague. And
that's me.
yeah, that was Mike. And of course, I was aboard the Ticonderoga.
I've got a piece of your luggage, and the tag on the luggage says it was on the Patrick. Did you ever serve on the Patrick, or was that just a luggage ship?
No.
That must have been just something to ship luggage on.
Yeah, probably. But the Ticonderoga and the Bonhomme Richard.
Okay.
And I went to Bremerton, Washington, put the USS Yorktown back in commission. They reconditioned it after the war. And we were in Bremerton, Washington for several months.
When we were in Imperial Beach, I can remember you shipping out. What did you ship out on then?
Well, I went to Japan for 7 months tour when Tina was just a baby.
And what were you on then? Do you remember?
No, I was flying.
Oh, you were flying then.
Flying,
Okay.
I had an airplane that I was flying on. It was the Navy's first airplane that could operate off an aircraft carrier and carry napalm. It had 2 reciprocating engines and a jet engine at the tail.
Wow.
It could travel just about the speed of sound at 40,000 feet. I hated to go to 40,000 feet because if you did, if you ever had to bail out up there, you could not pull your...
During the war, were you ever under attack? The ships you were on, were you ever torpedoed or hit or bombed or anything?
We had a suicide plane hit us in the Pacific aboard the Essex. Didn't do an awful lot of damage. We patched up the flight deck and was able to launch planes again within a few hours after it happened. And the thing that I really remember about that was I was on a fire hose and I was fighting fire. And it happened to be that guys kept coming back from up there, and I grabbed one guy and said, "How come you're going back that way?" And he opened up his shirt, and there was a bottle of 4 Roses whiskey in there, and he said, "You better hurry up, it's going fast." And it happened to be in the Admiral's cabin, and the Admiral had a case of whiskey up there. And I went up and got me a bottle, and I went and hid it out, and I thought, man, they're going to search this ship for that whiskey. I never heard a word about it, because the Admiral wasn't supposed to have that on board there either. But I hid it out for a while, and then a couple of my buddies and me had a party one night.
I believe they're getting ready to call us for the bus over here, so I think we need to close this out.